Alright, just tell me when you guys check the audio box and then we can begin.
Sure.
Mine's check.
Alrighty. Net yours checked.
Yep.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody and welcome to the new PCG GamedOut podcast. I will be your lovely host, the notorious PCG YukoN. And I am joined here by the lovely PCG NommmNommm and the legendary PCG Graywolf.
I forgot, how long does this thing last again?
We don't know. But today we'll just
Perfect.
for our first episode, I'll just give you guys the rundown. We're just going to be discussing our different viewpoints on games. And the first one being the game that we are all familiar with, because it's the only game that most of us played, except for Knight. And actually Shy plays Overwatch. Yeah. This is the only one that we all play together. But we'll be bringing you probably some infection. So let's see, let's kick ooh, I can even open a rec pack for you guys. But let's kick this, and who wants to take the beginning? Because today's topic will be Halo 5 Guardians. Now this game has received a lot of criticism, but it's also received a lot of praise. So we have a bunch of different viewpoints. So Knight, would you like to start off? Or Gray? With your,
I'll let somebody else start off. I would be better just at responding.
Alright, Shy, you want me to start off?
Let me just say this. I got one statement for this. Fuck Sprint.
Alright. Pretty good statement. But I guess I will start off then. So my personal opinion on the game. Eh?
Or are you gonna say something or?
I mean, if you want to start, you could.
I mean, the thing with Sprint though, like, I get why a lot of people hate it, but like
older players.
It's not even that, cause like, Halo 4 Sprint was bad. Halo 5, like,
they improved the sprint.
Everything was compensated for Sprint, but like Halo Reach, like, Sprint wasn't as invasive.
See, I would argue that Halo Reach there was a bit of a different animal, because I'd say armor abilities in general started the entire downfall of everything. That's why everyone gives Reach a lot of credit. Well, yes, Reach had great custom games, but when it came to competitive play, that was the start of the downfall of competitive play.
Well, it's like, here's the thing though, the thing with the armor abilities is that, there was no one particular armor ability which guarantees you any type of victory. Like, no one armor ability was more overpowered than the other. Like, yeah, people say that.
Jetpack?
No, but even with armor lock, even with armor lock though, it's like, yeah, you became invincible, but if someone timed it right, they could easily take you out. Because here's the thing, you could easily grenade someone when they were at the end of their armor lock, quickly taking them out, or like, you could just like wait somebody out with the armor lock before just attacking them, even if they had low shields. So if you knew how to play it, you could easily counter it.
Well, I mean, the same could be said for armor abilities as well, and for Spartan abilities.
2 minutes
left. Here's the thing with Spartan abilities. Like, Spartan abilities, I feel like, I'm trying to figure out, a way to put this. Like, I'm trying to... Because I don't want to say they widen the skill gap, but I also don't want to say they shorten the skill gap, because of the fact that, like, I feel like with Spartan abilities, it has more of a random element to it, because of the fact that you could be shooting someone, and then they all of a sudden just thruster to the left or to the right, basically interrupting the kill. So
See, I actually like Spartan abilities a lot better then I did armor abilities, which was actually pretty funny because I did not want them to remove armor abilities because I had just gotten used to them. And I actually was one of my big complaints coming out of Halo 4.
I'm glad armor abilities are gone, especially after Halo 4, because
Yeah,
a lot of people. Well, it's like, here's the thing. Like, coming from personal experience, out of all the armor abilities, Promethean Vision was the most overpowered but most effective because you got to see through the walls. Hardlight Shield, which was an obvious
but Tony was easily countered by stealth.
But even with stealth, though, I feel like.
I mean, yeah,
but it's like.
Yeah, to a degree.
But it's like, here's the thing, though, because with the Hardlight Shield, it was an obvious replacement for Armor Lock, but it didn't really protect you all that well. Like, I'm pretty, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't you just throw a grenade, like, under the Hardlight Shield, which would basically damage the player?
Yes, you could, but I think that was done on purpose, because Armor Lock was deemed rather overpowered.
No, but again, as I said, though, it wasn't as overpowered as people thought, because you can wait it out and, like,
but you could also blow up a charging vehicle with it. I'd say that's rather overpowered. And you could EMP shit with it, which is also rather overpowered.
Well, here's the thing. From my own experience, I've actually ran over a lot of players with Armor Lock, and I never, like, blew up 100% of the time. A lot of the times, I just got, like, knocked around.
I know, but any decent player would easily murder you with it.
2 minutes left.
I mean, Halo Reach also had a plague of it being too community-friendly. Now, actually, this is actually a perfect segue into a topic I want to talk about Halo 5. Halo 4 failed terribly and was pretty much only a community game, alright? There is no accent. But Halo 4 pretty much failed. Halo 4 pretty much failed, almost like in a lot of areas, like mainly in competitive though. There was no competition.
The thing with Halo 4 and 5 is that
then
both of them, I feel like,
they
have
compensated. 5 compensated for that so. Like with 5, now it's way too competitive.
The thing with Halo 4 and 5, there's one huge thing that both Halo 4 and 5 have in common, and it's that they failed to
seek out both of Halo's audiences.
Yeah, because with Halo 4, it was primarily focused on casual gameplay. Like, it was too focused. Halo 5, though, went on the other...
the complete other radical.
Yeah, Halo 4 was one extreme, and then Halo 5 went on the complete opposite spectrum to the other extreme. There was no, like, in-the-middle balance.
Yeah, see, I've noticed that.
I'll say right now, Halo 2 was a fun game. It was primarily built for competitive, but you could still have casual fun with it. Halo 3, I think, was built more casually, but you could still have
competitive play.
Yeah,
exactly.
But the thing is, it was more competitive, was more community-based. It wasn't built into the game itself, which is why I think it personally worked.
Agreed.
And that's why Halo 3...
343 has just decided to pretty much just say, hey, let's focus on one audience. And then when that one audience doesn't do as well, they say, hey, let's completely focus on the other audience.
Well, it's like, I think the thing with 343 is that they take one piece of criticism and they literally just change their whole entire gameplay on that, instead of saying, like, okay, well, how can we make it so that this person gets, like, pleased? I don't even want to say pleased. What's a better word for it than that? Because I don't want to say pleased.
More accepting.
Yeah, so that, because they're failing to create Halo right now in a way that it works for both players. Take Smash Brothers, for instance. Like, I know it has nothing to do with, like, Xbox or whatever, but the original Smash Brothers game, Melee,
that was not the original Smash Brothers game.
Well, it was for GameCube, but I'll give you that one. But Smash Brothers Melee was originally intended to be nothing but a party casual game, and yet you had this community which turned it into one of the most competitive fighting games in the fighting genre. So it's one of those things where it's like they made something that wasn't intended for that purpose into something really fun, which is what I think 343 is trying to do, but like they're trying to do purposely when it shouldn't be done like that. I think they need to just focus on a Halo game, which is fun, and even back when Bungie was in charge of it, and this is actually on YouTube in the video called behind the scenes of making Halo 2. One of the creators actually said that you can have all the great graphics and weapons that you want, but unless you nail that 30 seconds of fun, it's not going to be a great game.
That's a great way to put it. Another big discussion with Halo 5 has... God damn it. Another good discussion with Halo 5 has basically been Warzone. Alright? Warzone, and I'm gonna group in the rec system with this. Now, personally, I despise Warzone, but I know that you actually enjoy Warzone to some degree.
Well, it's like, Warzone is a double-edged sword. Because the thing is, I do believe that it is, in itself, an innovation. Like, it's like an upgrade from big team battle, because not only are you versing other players, but you're also versing AI at the same time, so it allows for more variety of how you can play. But the part that's a double-edged sword is the fact that you need Rex in order to do well in it a lot of the time. And the Rex are connected to the microtransaction system, which a lot of people argue is pay to win.
Exactly.
So,
see, that's why I personally don't like. I like the idea behind Warzone.
I'm not a fan of Warzone myself.
I don't like the execution at all. Personally, I like the typical Halo original style arena gameplay. I actually love Halo 5's competitive. I believe that they've made a perfect competition game. Right? It deserves 100% to be an esport because that's pretty much what they developed it for. I mean, a few fucking weeks ago, we didn't really have any social playlists. Well, not weeks ago, but a few months ago, we didn't even have, like, basic infection. This game released without infection, Riftball, and I feel like that's another, like, huge part of all of this, is just the fact that we released without a lot of game modes that the entire Halo community loved. And that was a big issue. Like, I remember perfectly, when I heard that there's no gravity hammer in this game, I was pissed. There's no grip ball.
A point that needs to be brought up is that, and this is something that a lot of people feel, and I can use myself as experience, which is pretty much what I do for a lot of this, but a lot of people feel that, like, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people who stopped playing Halo 5 because they felt like 343 didn't listen to them, 343 didn't care about them. I haven't played Halo 5 really at all for several months, if not, like, several weeks. Every now and then, I do go on it, only to play, like, Warzone, just because, as I said before, it's, like, a new thing in Halo, so it's, like, it's still an interesting thing, even if it's a double-edged sword. But when I played with YukoN yesterday, there was a lot about the game that I found out they added, and it's like, holy shit, like, when did they add all this crap? And it's like, it's been added in here for a while.
Has
like,
been trying, and that's why I try my best not to fault them, because I know that they're trying.
Yeah, but it's like, here's the problem though. While they're trying now, a lot of people, for them, it's like, you know, it's too late. Like, this should have been done at the way beginning. Like, it doesn't matter, because you only have, for a lot of people, it's like, first impressions are pretty much everything, and if it's not there right away, you only have a certain window of time before they say, like, oh, you know, we can always do something else to enjoy our time with. And it's like, I can say right now that just because of the fact that they added a whole bunch of stuff doesn't mean I'm going to go back to it, because I've moved on to a lot of other games and other things. So if they did this originally, I probably would have stayed on the game playing it, but I didn't, because as I said
problem
before,
with saying like one could make the same argument for any game. Halo Reach was not that decent at launch, and while everyone's going to compare numbers, I will argue that Halo Reach's numbers hit a very significant drop when Call of Duty Black Ops came out. The original Black Ops,
but it's like, also at the same time, you also have to. You also have to acknowledge the factor, though, that with Halo Reach, Halo Reach compared to Halo 5, there is a huge quality difference. A huge quality difference.
I would argue there is not. I mean, Halo 5, a lot of people give it a lot of flack, but they really have perfected competition gameplay, and there's crazy people like myself who fucking love the competition.
It's more than just the competition, though. Halo 5, unlike Reach, It didn't ship with split screen co-op. It did not ship with Forge. You cannot do local multiplayer. You can't do a lot of things that the previous Halo games did, and that actually did turn off a lot of people. There were people on Twitter who were actually tweeting at 343 and Microsoft their receipts of the game, saying that like, hey, like you guys screwed up. Like you did not tell us this ahead of time before we went and pre-ordered the game. So
that's
like,
not true.
we're not
Actually,
Exactly.
they had
actually
been
were people
very
who did that.
upfront with Forge not being there.
No,
I remember
I'm
it
talking
causing
about
a
in
lot of
reference to
uproar
split screen. I'm
before
talking
the
about
game.
in reference to split
But
screen.
no,
I'm talking
I
about
read
reference
articles
to
way
split
before the game came out about it. Be it I had already pre-ordered. I had already pre-ordered by that point in time. But before the game came out, they did say that they sacrificed 60 FPS, sacrificed no split screen for 60 frames per
Yeah,
second.
but here's the thing. The only reason they said that was because people had actually made a big deal about it beforehand. That's actually the reason why they then mentioned it.
Man,
Well, no, they mentioned it because, again, the only reason they even brought it back up again was because the fans were in outrage, which I'm not saying they didn't have a reason to be outraged, I'm just saying that I understand why they cut it for 60 frames, because you're competing with games that just, you know, PC, they want to break into the esports market. PC has that dominated with League of Legends, CSGO. I'd argue that
but
they
I mean,
did what was
it's
the
like I
best
said
decision.
before with the whole
2 minutes
Bungie
left.
person in the making of Halo 2 video. You can have all the pretty graphics and weapons and all that, but unless you nail a 30 seconds of fun, it's not going to mean anything. Because you can have the most beautiful game in the world, but unless that game is fun, people aren't going to be on it for very long or even possibly buy it if they find out that it's not all that fun.
Yes, I know that, but what they originally care about is sales. They wanted the sales to be good. Get the sales.
No, and don't
to be
get me
good.
wrong. You know what? They are a company. They are allowed to do, whatever they can to
It's
make
best
sales.
for the business, yeah.
But at the same time, and
they've got to
this
think about
to me
the
is-
players.
Yeah,
I do agree.
This is something that it's like, sorry I keep cutting you off, Jesus Christ. But this is something which I feel like is an unofficial, or should be an unofficial rule for the most part. Because it's like, here's the thing, a lot of people say nowadays that like, oh, you know what, 343 can do whatever they want, it's their game. It's like, yes, it's their game. But the only reason they even have jobs right now, the only reason that Halo is still around right now is because of the original fan base and because of the roots of Halo. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even be around right now. So when people say that they feel alienated, it should be an alarm, well, not an alarming sign, but it should be kind of like a questioning kind of thing.
I do agree. Actually, here, Shai, would you like to weigh in on this? Because I feel like we've been doing a lot of the talking, and I feel bad.
No, it's just
So, what's up?
I'm enjoying listening to Knight's views on it because you say we're opposite. We're not.
No, I know you guys aren't
We're not that
opposite.
different.
Well, it's like,
But I'm-
here's the thing also with like kind of like opposite views. Like, I feel like in the long run, you're always gonna have a side. I don't think there really is ever kind of like a neutral. I think like, in the end, you either are with something or you're not. Like, even if it's not like, oh, one side or the other, it's either you're with the side or you're not. So,
Well, I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that. But when it comes to like back to what we were originally talking about, basically, what I believe is that I'm kind of happy almost that they did that, because you got to keep in mind they had a deadline to meet. All right, they already postponed
look
the
at
launch of
MCC.
Halo 5
Look at MCC.
significantly. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at,
That's-
yeah, look at MCC.
yeah, I know. MCC was not at all completed.
Round 4.
Halo 5
Yeah, then
was
why did they
technically
release it?
completed.
And they
The
still
core
won't
game-
touch the servers.
There's a lot of
The
people.
poor-
B Dobbins FTW. I don't know how many of you know him, but he's a YouTuber. One of his primary arguments, I don't know if like he would feel the same way now at this point. One of his arguments is that he claimed that 343 knew that the product was broken, like, and they still shipped it out anyway. And honestly, like, while I don't know if this is true myself, yeah. And like, while I don't know if that's
But I don't think it's
true
343's
myself,
fault.
and
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna make a claim that that's what they actually did. Theoretically, one could see a company doing that just so that they can make a quick buck.
Again,
and
no,
I remember
343
him going
is
on, like,
owned by Microsoft. So you can't really fault 343. They're doing what they're told to do, otherwise they'll get fired. That's their job.
Well, it's like no, but it's like here's the thing though.
It's the same thing with
granted,
Bungie and
I don't know
Activision and
how
Destiny.
Microsoft completely operates. You know what? Right now, I don't know how Microsoft completely operates. And maybe you have some knowledge onto this, but B. Dobbins FTW, he said that they're not a separate entity. It's just a department within Microsoft 343 that they are essentially.
Yes, but that makes them
that
a
they're
separate
essentially
entity.
one and the same. So we can't just treat Microsoft like the boogeyman and spare the devs at 343.
No, we can exactly do that because
But you
Microsoft
still have to
is
look
the
into
overall
the
parent
difference
company.
between 343 and Bungie's.
Yeah. We can't just degrade that. 343 is a division of Microsoft, yes. But that being said,
No, within Microsoft.
Yes, I know. That's why I just said a division of Microsoft.
You said it's a division of Microsoft, not within Microsoft, though.
That's the exact same thing. It is a division of Microsoft.
My bad. You know me, I get very specific and technical with words.
Yeah, but basically, we can't denounce that because it's the same thing with Activision and Bungie, basically, just slightly different because this one 100% owns the other. The problem with everything in general is that unfortunately, 343 doesn't have as much say as the overall parent company. If 343 is told, we need this game by now, which, I mean, they needed a Halo title. Halo is Microsoft's main series. An Xbox without Halo is, like, basically just a brick for most players, alright?
Oh, no, I completely agree. I mean, granted, there are other flagship titles, like Gears of War, and...
But there wasn't a Gears game
other
out either.
titles, which I'm completely coming blank on, but,
It's mainly Gears and Halo. Let's be honest here, it's Gears and Halo.
If it wasn't for Halo...
Well, right now, I think it's possibly also...
I would probably have a PlayStation.
Wait, isn't Battlefield now like a AAA title for Microsoft since Call of Duty switched over?
You can't really count those two because they're cross-platform.
That's true. That's true. But, the interesting part, though, is that a lot of people say, like, oh, you know what, like, I wish Bungie would come back to Halo. And while I kind of get why people say that, at the same time, though, that may not be the best decision, considering after everything that's happened actually with Destiny.
I think that 343 is great. I think that 343 has the potential to do great things. What they're doing, though, is they're fucking up. And they take way too... Yeah, they're rushing things. But that's also
I don't know
not
if it's so much as
100%
rushing.
their
I mean,
fault.
I think...
No, it's definitely a rush.
I think that's definitely possibly a factor. I also think, though, it could be just because of the fact that they're psyching them trying too hard. Because it's like, here's the thing. Like, I've seen a few videos where they have actually said, like, oh, well, it's like, you know, we have to carry on this, like, impressive legacy of Halo. And it's like, we have to kind of turn it into something great. And it's like, while I get that, there is such a thing, though, as, like, kind of... Yeah, and it's like, you could just play off of it. You don't have to turn it into something completely different just to say that, just to show off, like, what you guys can do. Because you can pretty much do that while already kind of playing or rolling with what was already laid in stone.
Exactly. Don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people will be like, especially like, let's just say with the armor abilities and Spartan abilities, a lot of people say like, oh, well, it's like, you know what, you have to evolve a game, and it's like, while that's true, but it's like, here's the thing, while that is true that you need to evolve a game, there's a difference between changing because of innovation and changing just for the sake of change, which I think 343 is currently doing. Take Halo 1 and 2, for example. Halo 2, brought in the idea of dual wielding, and they also brought in the idea of turrets and rockets, which were homing. Now, those were kind of ideas, well, not even kind of, those are ideas which were, what's the wording or phrase, like, played off of? Yeah, those are concepts which played off of ideas that were originally in the first Halo game. So it wasn't even saying for the sake of change. It was like, hey, we have this awesome thing. So how can we expand upon that?
How can we incorporate it?
Yeah, incorporate it.
Into what's already good.
Yeah. But right now, though, it's like, okay, well, we had this. This was fun. But let's just completely scrap it and try something else because of the fact that it's such a huge thing. And it's like we still have to change the game just to justify its existence, and it's like that's not how evolution or innovation works. Warzone, as I said before, I find that to be an innovation. I find it to be kind of like an evolution of Big Team Battle, because not only do you have PvP, but you also have PvE, and it's on a larger scale map.
See, I'd argue that 343, other than Halo 4, Halo 4 did do some very ballsy shit. Halo 4 has seemed almost entirely just moderate game innovation. Like, they haven't done anything extremely new. Spartan abilities are basically just multiple armor abilities. There's no difference between them. So I don't really mind it as much. And with things like, I'd say that Bungie kind of started the downfall of all of this with Reach. So I would.
Well, it's like here's also the thing about that too.
I'm missing a lot.
Yeah, but it's like here's the thing with that too. A lot of people, and I won't deny this. You know, a lot of people do say that the fall of Halo did start with Halo Reach, but at the same time, you know, I give Bungie a lot of credit for trying to really step outside the box and really try something new. I mean, it was a risk.
But isn't that hypocritical to not give 343 the same courtesy?
No, because of the fact that here's the thing. They made it so that you didn't specifically have to play with armor abilities in Halo Reach.
That's just not true. You definitely did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't have to play with. Yeah, you didn't have to. Because here's the way I see the armor abilities, or I saw the armor abilities. There was no one armor ability which overpowered the other. You could play the game and have fun with all of them.
Promethean Vision,
I always
definitely. I'd say actually Jetpack, if I'm really being honest here, Jetpack is literally the best armor ability in that game. I mean, the ability to just gain massive fucking height within seconds compared to your opponent and have them to have to aim upwards.
You also say that armor lock was overpowered as all hell.
But that's not overpowered in competitive play, because it wasn't really as useful in competitive play, because the pro players could easily...
I'll give you that. The jetpack did give you a lot more height and like verticality, but at the same time, that's really pretty much all it gave you. It just gave you the ability to get to a higher place fast. Like on sword base, that was a very useful skill. So, like a very useful thing to have. I mean, yes, on some maps, some armor abilities played better than others, but in the long run, you didn't need those specific armor abilities just to play well. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten my ass beaten by someone on sword base because of the fact that they use sprint combined with the sword.
Oh, sprint and sword is certainly a double combo. But, sprint and sword have nothing on jetpack and basic battle rifle.
But like I'm saying, though, it's like, it wasn't so much the armor abilities, it was more like how you utilize them. Kind of like the power weapons.
But one could make the exact same thing. In fact, I actually prefer Spartan abilities just because everyone has the same thing. There's no, like you won't ever run into someone
you take away the abilities and everybody still has the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly. But what I like is they still tried to keep the innovations they've made.
The one thing I will admit and say that I like about the Spartan abilities, is that they do put everyone on the same type of ground. However, I do feel that it does add an element of randomness to it because of the fact that, take Thruster for instance. You could be close to getting a kill and then suddenly someone thrusters behind something else. In all other games, that would have been a kill.
Yes, but that's the evolution of the gameplay.
That could save someone's life. And the thing is, it's not like the thruster works in one way. It works in all ways. So, and for instance, shoulder bash. A lot of people have like very conflicting views about the shoulder bash. Some saying that it's like a cool thing. Other people saying that it's way overpowered. As I said before, it adds to an element of randomness.
Yeah, just say it.
I'm in that category of people that it's too much. I don't like it.
What,
So-
the shoulder bash or just the
Yeah.
strong abilities?
I find that the
The
shoulder
shoulder
bash
bash.
isn't as overpowered as everyone makes it out to be, just because there's been often times where you can easily dodge these shoulder. Like, see right there, I just dodged the shoulder dash.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like
not
also
like
with the
this
shoulder bash though,
invincible
it's
thing.
like you could be looking at someone shoulder bash and then you miss, while other times you don't
2
miss.
minutes left.
It's random, which is what I don't like. It's not even consistent either.
No,
Like,
it's not random.
um,
It just depends on the angle you take and the speed that you're going at the time.
But again though, like there's sometimes you'll have sometimes where it aims and then other times where it doesn't, and then sometimes it'll kill someone instantly and then other times it won't.
It
And
only kills them instantly if they're damaged. Or if you
no,
hit them in the back.
I've had it where I've had it where it killed someone pretty much instantly from the front.
Then you were playing Breakout.
Nope, I was playing Warzone.
Survivors remain.
Well, then it's a glitch, because I can tell you right now that that doesn't happen in competitive play.
Yeah,
At all.
yes, because glitches are so rare in Halo 5.
They
Yeah.
actually are. Compared to MCC, I'd
No,
say this is a rather large step.
Dude, have you played the campaign?
Compared to MCC, yes.
Even the speedrunning community has said that,
1
and
minute
one of my
left.
favorite speedrunners, Cryfon, like he's very well known in the Halo 2 speedrun community. He has even said that this game is so poorly coded. And one of the levels, I think it was Genesis, possibly. I could be wrong on this. It's the level where you can fly around on a Phaeton as a character of Blue Team. There is a part of the level where you can literally just fly downward and then just fly right out of the level. Now, as a speedrunner, do I like glitches? Because do I find it to them to make the game even more fun and give more of a variety of a way to play it? Yes. But at the same time, it's kind of like the amount of glitches that was found in the first year of Halo 5's release for the campaign. It kind of just makes you wonder, like, holy shit, this is actually somewhat embarrassing. Like, do these people even know how to code?
Well, see, for the campaign, I'd argue it's pretty clear. We can all agree. No one here is opposed to thinking that admitting that Halo 5 has probably the shittiest Halo campaign ever of all time, correct? Can we all agree
Well,
on
I
that?
mean, that's besides the point that I'm trying to make, though.
Well, no, see,
the point
but
I'm
I'm getting
making, though.
into the point. What I'm saying is that they clearly, just combined with the lack of attention, it's just, they put no attention into the campaign. I think everyone can admit that. Clearly they focused heavily on the multiplayer. That's why we see Arena. Arena is fucking great.
Well, actually,
they've mastered Arena.
I don't know if that's actually completely accurate or fair to say, because this is from something which I've heard. I don't know if it's completely true, so I'll kind of take back my statement from just like a few seconds ago and say I don't know if that's completely true. But there was apparently, from what I heard, a leak from one of the employees saying that the game was originally supposed to be so much different. Like, it wasn't supposed to be a 4-player co-op game. It was supposed to be a game where you actually hunted the Master Chief through searching for clues on several different planets until, I'm guessing, you finally found him. So I think it was actually in the last year where they actually completely changed everything, which is why it was kind of a piping hot mess the way it is now.
Again, though, I mean, that's just a lack of attention on campaign. We can clearly see their efforts in multiplayer have been rewarded. They've created a beautiful
that's not a lack
arena
of
mode.
attention on campaign, though, because as I just said, if like what the guy said was true, then that means they switched it at the
We're
last
referring
second.
to the
It has
final
nothing
product,
to do
though.
with lack of
Yes,
attention
that's a
on
lack
campaign.
of attention. If they had to switch
No,
it
it's
at
not.
the last
It's a
second,
lack
that's
of,
a lack of attention.
I would argue that's a lack of like just consistency of what you're trying to do. Because that means that there's something. Because that means then you're not like completely totally organized, and that there's a bit of miscommunication going on between all the developers.
No, they have a plan they set out to do it. If you then, literally like a month before the game's release, decide to entirely scrap it, that's terrible planning, and that's a lack of focus on the game in general.
Well, you just said a lack of, what'd you just say? I just lost train of thought.
Lack of focus.
Lack of focus.
Well, here's the.
They had perfect
okay,
communication.
So, but here's the thing. You just said lack of focus on campaign. Now you're saying a lack of focus on the game in general. There's a difference.
Because I'm including No, there's no difference because campaign's part of the game.
Well,
It's
yeah,
Halo.
because for one, you're saying that they had a lack of focus with the campaign, and now you're saying it's just the entire game in
The
general.
campaign
so.
is a huge. No, well, yeah, in the way it is. I mean, overall, the campaign
Well,
has
yeah,
always
like
been a
a
huge.
part, but the majority.
Yeah, I mean,
that-
I'm not denying that. Campaign is a huge part. It's what
I mean,
originally sold Halo.
yeah,
But it's not
exactly.
the only part of the game, though.
Yes,
It's
I know.
not
I'm
the
not
main
saying
part.
it is. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is, it is. I'd say that Halo is both a main part campaign and a main part. Because as we've seen, Halo 4 had a beautiful campaign. It really did. Halo 4 had a great campaign.
Yeah,
People-
Halo 4, I
people give a
can't
shit.
argue with that. I
Halo
can't
4,
argue
that's the
with
one
that.
thing they
The
did
ending,
right.
I find.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because Halo 5 and Halo 4 are complete inverses of each other. One is the complete opposite of the other. One focused heavily on the campaign, not so much on the multiplayer, and people saw that. That's why it got kicked off the pro circuit. Well, actually, it didn't even get invited onto the pro circuit. They had to make their own tiny little pro circuit, and that's why we lost a lot of Halo players. Like, we have great Halo players like Formal, we have great players
Yep.
like Enable. All of them went to fucking Call of Duty because they said, fuck it,
People
we're
which
not
I've
going to
actually
play
never
this.
heard of,
Oh,
actually.
And
then you haven't followed esports for very long.
Well,
Especially
dude,
Halo.
as I said before, I really haven't followed Halo for the most part for a good
Those were
half
Halo
of
2 players.
2016.
And Halo Reach
And you know,
players
think
and
about
Halo
it.
3 players.
But it's like I used
Back
to
to the
follow
changing
Halo
the
all the
game.
time.
Wait, let's try to speak.
back to
Yeah,
the change in the
okay.
game. They all left and went to Call of Duty. So how are they going to change the game to get these kids to come back from Call of Duty?
That's actually very interesting.
You're
I
gonna
think
make
that's
it-
what they tried to do with Arena.
More
But then they-
towards the newer FPS games that are generally out.
Exactly. That's why Halo 4, they tried and they failed. And that failure
I
kind
think-
of scarred them.
And there was a lot of games though that tried to mimic what Call of Duty did. Battlefield Hardline, from what I heard, tried to
can't-
mimic the Call of Duty formula, and it didn't do all that well.
Yeah, Battlefield actually has a great formula. Battlefield EA, please, I know that you're like shitty company moral-wise, and that you ruined a lot of things. Like, I'm still really pissed that you fucking made Battlefront so beautiful, but now you fucking totally took away the class system of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I thought that you should just make Star Wars Battlefront 3 the sequel to the beloved game series that Pandemic made, that, you know, every Star Wars fan loved, and that pretty much all of its player base loved, and that there's still a player base going strong today, even though it was released years ago when I was still a child playing it on the PSP and on the Xbox. The original.
Yes, our good childhoods.
Yes, so, I thought, personally, fuck you EA for that, you ruined my childhood, but away from that, Battlefield had a great setup. Battlefield is one of my favorite FPS series, just because it's so realistic.
Yeah, I actually got into Battlefield 1 only because of the fact that Infinite Warfare I found to be glorified,
Well, let's not
overpriced
talk about
DLC for Black Ops 3.
Activision's failures. Don't get me
Battlefield.
between fucking ruining my favorite game company.
Oh,
Bungie.
you mean Cancer Vision? You mean
Yes,
Cancer Vision?
Vision.
Right?
So let's get back on topic a bit.
And no, I am not joking. I'm being actually 100% serious.
Yeah, I know.
In the name.
I think we are. But let's get back on topic. Fuck, what were we talking about again? God damn it, I went off on a
You tell me.
tangent.
Oh, I can't remember.
2 minutes.
What was it like Halo? It was like Halo 5
Don't put me
story.
in charge of remembering something.
It was like Halo 5 the story or something.
No, back,
something.
yeah, Halo 4 and Halo 5. So, Halo 4, I think most of the player base agrees it's shit, just because after Halo 2, everyone pretty much said, even though it has a great campaign, the main part of this game is now multiplayer, just because Halo 2 was huge. Halo 2 was pretty much what brought esports to console. In fact, it was pretty much one of the first
No,
major
it defined
esports.
this is Microsoft only warning, but I honestly agree with it to be true. It defined his generation. It really did.
It did. It
Um,
did. The original
yeah.
Halo also defined it. Keep in mind, the original Halo is the same thing that gave you the basic multiplayer layout that you now see in every game. You got a grenade, and you got 2 guns that you can swap between.
No,
and
it
then
was
the ability
grenade,
to
it was
melee
melee,
people.
and then it was weapons. It was grenade,
Yeah.
melee, and weapon. It was a
1 minute
circle of fun, as the developers from the Halo 2 documentary put it. But
Well, you can't really give it the
it's-
weapons because Doom had already done that.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, besides Doom though, there was several other games which had in weapons, so I don't know if I would want to say that Doom started at all. But
No, I'm saying with the weapons
it's
on the
interesting
map.
though, because it's interesting though because of the fact
30
that
seconds.
Halo 4 and Halo 5, those are the first two Halo games which I did not find myself addicted to. Now, Halo 5, I did play a lot longer than I expected to, only though because I was trying to do a big project for YouTube with it. If it wasn't for that, I would not have played Halo 5 as much
10
as
seconds.
I had. Because Halo 4, I played it, I wasn't really impressed by it. I actually got pretty bored with it. The only reason I actually stepped back into it was because that was actually when I had my first girlfriend, and she played Halo, so I was like, oh, hey, cool, now I have renewed interest in the game again. But,
The power of women.
then afterward... yeah, really. But, then afterwards, I just lost interest again because of the fact that we stopped playing it. I was like, okay, well, it's like, you know what, I don't have fun with this game by myself, and I got no one really playing with me, so it's like, what's the point of, like, just doing this game by myself if I don't even have fun playing it solo? And then, when it came to Halo 5, you know what, I'll admit, I was on the hype train with it, and it was one of those things where it's like, a Christmas gift, it's new, so it's like, you kind of get the little like, oh, this is a new toy, let me like kind of fool around with it and see what it's about, and I think everyone kind of gets that way about like any type of new game that they get, depending on...
every new title.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah,
Infinite
it's like,
Warfare.
depending
Infinite
on,
Warfare, everyone
depending on the
hated
kind of
from
game that you
beginning.
like, yeah. Now, I mean, am I to say that I would do that with every game? No, because it's like, it depends if it's a genre I even like. But, like, regardless of that, though, it's like, Halo 5... Like, Halo 5, I played the campaign, I wasn't impressed with it. I did do the multiplayer for a bit, and I think a large part of the reason why I stuck the reason I stuck around so long with it, there we go, stuck around so long with it, is because of the fact that I had you and like a few other people to play with, which kind of gave me a reason to do it. And then when I saw people actually making rec pack videos, I was like, oh hey, you know what, I can do this. Like, I have a lot of patience. I can grind for several hours on end. And like, it was only after those 3 rec pack videos that I was in like, okay, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even have fun with this.
I'd argue that you grinded so hard that it ruined the game for you. Grinding
No,
is
but
not
here's the
fun.
thing,
Yeah, I can agree that you can get burnt out on things so easily.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, here's the thing though, even with Halo 3 though, I could play that for hours on end in multiplayer and still not get bored of it.
Because
And that
you
was
weren't-
even without the Rex.
But that's because
That
there
was
was
without
no
the
rec
Rex.
system. The problem is you turned it into a job. When you turn something into the job, it can oftentimes take the fun
No,
out.
but it's like, even nowadays, I would never play Halo 5 multiplayer just because of the fact that every time I complete a match and I see the rec points go up, it's like, I feel like... And
Exactly,
I don't know if
it's
this
ruined the
was
game
rec
for
pack-
you.
No. Because it's like, I feel like I'm not just playing, or like, just for the sake of fun, I feel like I'm playing
That's
just
what I'm
to earn
saying.
rec points
'Cause
for
you've
another
turned
pack.
it into a job. That's the problem.
No, but dude, that was over a year ago.
2 minutes
Even now, I don't like playing the Halo 5 multiplayer because it's like, I don't like seeing the rec points because then it's like, okay, well, it's like as soon as I get enough rec points, like I'll just go get another gold pack, and it's like, it's just another whole bunch of RNG bullshit.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say though. You just keep fucking proving my point here, is that you've turned it into a job. Me, the reason I love it so much is, see, you take games and you take them like very seriously. When I take them, all I see is like potential to, oh fuck, he's gonna kill me. When all I see is a lot of fun I can have. I don't really mind the rec system because I don't play Warzone. All I play is Arena. So because all I care about is the
But
competitive
even with
play
Warzone though, I
version and the
don't
social
use that
play.
many recs.
No, nor
Even
do
with
I. I
Warzone,
prefer
though,
not
I
to
don't-
use Rex. What I'm saying though
I mean,
is
I'll just use
by
Rex 'cause
making
it's
all
like,
these rec
I'll
point
just use
videos,
Rex every
you
now
burnt
and
yourself
then,
out
just because of the
your
fact that I
mindset
have them.
was your mindset was I have to grind, I have to get out these
1 minute
videos
left.
for the rec pack videos, and I'd argue that
Well,
that
it's
100%.
like, here's the thing. It's like, here's the thing though. I wasn't grinding the game because
Oh,
I felt
shit.
like I had a deadline. I was grinding the game because it's like I wanted to get out like a cool like video for YouTube. So it wasn't even like I had a deadline.
But YouTube's your job.
Gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Well, YouTube could be considered as a part-time job, but I do that with a lot of games, and I still don't get bored with them. COD Zombies is something I used to grind literally
I love
24/7. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's like I used to literally grind that 24/7, and I have about 4 to 5 videos on YouTube of me getting to 100. And honestly, you know, it was fun. It felt very rewarding. And it was only after I think like Call of Duty Ghosts and Advanced Warfare came out that my interest for zombies essentially died out. But I grinded that like crazy for YouTube, but I still like constantly had fun with it. So I don't think it's purely I don't think that saying for an argument that I was doing it purely for YouTube caused me to lose my interest in it because of the fact that I did the same thing with zombies and like I didn't
That's
quit
also
it
'cause
after a
you
few
weren't
months.
purely playing. I mean, you stated earlier, you were pretty much purely only sticking on Halo 5 for YouTube content. Zombies at the time, you weren't looking at it as a job when you started playing zombies. You looked at Halo after you deemed Halo 5 not as good. You started looking at it as a job, and that's where you never really allowed yourself to escalate it into having fun with the game.
Well, I guess if anything, you could always argue the fact that I just used YouTube as an excuse just to have myself play it even longer. Where it's like, okay, you know what, I have this game, I might as well like try to get something out of it in terms of just like like a reason for or justification for even playing it still.
Exactly. But, I mean, some games people have misjudged. Like, I will say, with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I originally hated, which is actually funny, because it's the game I mentioned. I originally hated Advanced Warfare. I thought it was dog shit, and I thought that no one would ever want to play it. But,
Advanced Warfare is just fucking dead. There's nobody on the servers.
That's what happened, though. What I'm trying to say, though, is I actually ended up loving it. Oh, hey, Tobias joined. But, I actually ended up
you know what,
loving
I'll
Advanced
admit,
Warfare.
you know what? I was hyped for Advanced Warfare. You know what? I thought the idea for the movement system, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was unique. It hadn't been done before in a Call of Duty game. So you know what? I'll give it. I was interested to see how it would play out, and I did have fun with it for a while. Now, granted, I think Black Ops 3 kind of perfected that movement system.
I disagree. I believe BO3 totally ripped off Titanfall's wall running system, and I can't agree with that. Titanfall was a nice original game, and the fact that Call of Duty copied the very devs that they fired
while I
from
give
Infinity
you
Ward,
like with the wall running and
that's
stuff,
fucked up.
I think that the booster.
Now you're
think
saying
that
they're fucked up for taking something so simple and adding a bunch of shit into it?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
mean,
they're
if
fucked
you
up
really
because
want to,
the people
it's like, here's
who
the
are
thing,
behind
if you really want to
Titanfall
say
were the
that,
fired devs from Infinity Ward.
I mean,
Who make
here's the
Modern
thing,
Warfare
Yukon.
series.
If you really want to criticize Black Ops 3 for ripping off Titanfall, which you know what, I'll give you, they probably did do that. I forgot when the games came out, which is why I'm
Titanfall
saying
came out way
probably.
before BO3.
Again, I just said I don't remember exactly when the games came out, which is why I'm saying probably.
Yeah, I know.
But here's the
can confirm,
thing:
though.
if we're gonna talk about games ripping off other games, like there was wall running in games way before Titanfall. Prince of Persia had wall running. Granted, you weren't able to shoot with guns as you're running on the wall, but it had a raw
No,
wall
I'm
running
referring to
itself
FPS
as a
games.
concept. Well, I just said that whatchamacallit.
Actually, I think Unreal
have...
may have had it. Unreal Tournament may have had.
Yeah, so
wall
it's
running.
like.
But
Yeah,
the problem with that is you have two very closely related titles at the time. I mean, there hadn't been another wall running tournament since Unreal Tournament, which was made way, way long ago. Like, that's before I was born.
I mean, I think you're also bringing I think you also have to remember the fact that it's Activision and they're willing to rip off any fucking concept.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hell, just look at Infinite Warfare and its zombies. It's clearly milking off of the Black Ops zombies community. Like, there's no argument there.
So let's move on to a new topic, and that's the rec system, which I believe a lot of us do think is cancerous.
Kill me.
As a more traditional Halo player who started out on Halo 3, I fucking despise the rec system because I loved Halo 3's armor system, and I also loved the way that Halo 4's armor system worked. I'm not gonna lie, I think that they did a great job with it. It was pretty much just Halo 3's. Unlock it through achievements, plus unlocking it
Yeah.
through level. Same way Halo 3
Now-
pretty much ran it.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing with the rec system for Halo 5 right now is that it was already controversial to begin with, and I think they really shot themselves in the foot with how they expanded upon it after about like a year and a half. Like now it's like you have these $99 deals for like 100 or like what was it, like 79 gold packs or something like that. And you have these like month of mythics, you have people paying $10 for voices, people paying $10 for like specific armor packs when you can just get it in like regular gold pack for 10,000 rec points. And it's like it's gotten to the point where it's like, yo, what? And
Right.
it's like it's gotten just so much worse. And it's like the sad thing is, I'm not against microtransactions itself. I'm not against the concept of it. You know what?
I'm against them
like,
unless
I'm not
it's
gonna
towards
deny
like
it.
DLC.
I've spent money on skins and costumes in the pack if like I thought it was like a cool costume or skin or something like that. But like nowadays though, microtransactions have become part of a very much pay to win like system, even if it's not just like in-game weapons or something, even if it's like armors or skins, because it's like you could be someone, let's just say for example like with the Mark 5 like armor, Mark VI armor, like I don't keep up with the armor, but
What?
there are people who would spend countless hours grinding just to get a specific armor, and when they put those armor in like a specific pack where you can just automatically buy, it's a huge slap in the face. Best example.
Just for a little background here, Graywolf
Yeah,
here.
just for a little background. Just
little
so
speedrunner
everyone knows what I'm
decides
talking
that
about.
he's gonna
alright?
go and get Helios skill.
Yeah, can I finish?
Actually, yeah,
can I
you
finish?
can
Yeah,
explain.
let
It's
me
your
explain
story.
it, because I'm the one who got burned by this. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, when I got the Master Chief Collection, I decided that, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna play all 4 campaigns on Legendary. Just do it the way it's supposed to be done. Just go for it all at once. And I mean, when doing all 4 campaigns, like the amount of hours I literally spent just trying to get through one level, I can't even. I can't even
A
exaggerate
lot of
the
hours.
amount of time I
Let's just
probably
go a
spent.
lot of
Yeah,
hours.
like yeah, and I even had to have YukoN help me complete some of these levels because of the fact that doing it by myself, it would have taken forever and it would have been almost nearly impossible. So once I get all the campaigns done, I then found out for Halo 5 that if you complete all 4 campaigns on Legendary, you get a special armor called the Helios Grill, which is like a helmet and just like special armor. And that it was exclusive to people who completed all 4 campaigns. Now, what Microsoft, or 343, went and did, is that they made it so that Helios Grill was later available in rec packs. Now, it wasn't the exact variant that I had, but, like, the only difference they had between mine and theirs, the one they put in rec packs, was that it had like a little stupid stripe of a different color on the helmet. Now, I don't know about any of you guys here, but an action like that, it's a huge slap to the face.
Yeah, you spend the
like-
time to grind that out.
Yeah, it's very unfair.
Like
that
when
they
you
threw
spend
that
the
in.
time grinding for a reward, and then they just make the reward available through RNG or something, it's basically saying, fuck you, fuck all your time invested into get.
Into... Are we still alive? Sorry about this, folks. We're having a minor interruption. I have to quickly fix this. That's why I'm standing still in game. Oh, thank you, Bobby. Alright, can everyone hear me?
Fucking. Oh my god, you
Yes.
fucking bastard. What did you ask
I let Knight keep talking and keep talking.
Oh,
And then I was like, Knight,
I
stop.
don't even.
Stop.
Dude, where
alright, now continue it. You
I
had
don't
just
even know
started
where it
speaking.
got cut
He has
off.
to re-include his audio. No, you don't. Ah, my Xbox Live thing.
Oh my god. Yo, where did I even leave off?
Just start over.
You were full rant. You were mid full rant.
Yeah, and I like
Alright,
that.
so, okay, so I'm just gonna put it simply, so, just in case for anyone who missed it, if they're even still keeping up with me, because Jesus Christ, I don't blame them if they think I talk too much, but, nah, seriously, I don't blame them, but, okay, so long story short, MCC, I played all 4 campaigns on Legendary, took me a long ass time, I would say about, like, at least a month or 2 to 3. Found out that when Halo 5 came out, anyone who did all 4 campaigns on Legendary got an exclusive armor set, and they essentially then later on made that armor set exclusive, well not even exclusive, they made it available to everyone through RNG random loot boxes that you can get through in-game points, or you could basically pay for it. And not only is it a slap to the face, but then it encourages the question of, well, wait a minute.
1 minute.
They have all these items which you can unlock through doing stuff, but it takes so much time, and who's to say that all this time won't be wasted and that they will just release it later in the future. And I think that's something that really kind of gets to a lot of people, because there are a lot of people who felt burned by this. And the last time I actually went onto the Halo Waypoint forums, I found out that apparently they're actually planning to release unlockable armor sets soon. But now it's kind of like, okay, well, it's a year and a half later, I stopped playing your game because I got bored with it and found other games that got me
Yes, but
interested.
the game, in defense of that, the game also still has a very large population. You have players such as me and Bobby, who's also on the party, but I have him muted.
But
so
it's like, here's the thing,
but,
people
like
have
us still play
argued,
this
and
game.
yeah, but it's like, people have argued, and I really see this viewpoint where it's like, okay, who's to say that they're not just delaying the release of everything just to get players to keep coming back? It's like, oh hey, this is something I really enjoy, so let me go play this for a good long time. Like, who's to say it's not planned delays?
I feel like there would have been a leak by now. I feel like there definitely would have been a leak by now.
That's kind of like
there's Bungie employees out there.
Overwatch.
Still...
when Overwatch launched Sombra, all the shit came out for it, and they would release one day, and that day was just for another clue.
2 minutes left.
For what we already knew.
But I mean, even with Sombra had like some game files already in the game. I wouldn't say she was cut from the game. I'd say that they had started implementing her, and then they decide, hey, I don't think we're gonna make the due date, so we may as well just, put it off. Sombra's the nice Mexican lady who hacks things in Overwatch.
That's very specific, and I don't even know that character still.
That's because you haven't. Well, we'll probably do Overwatch for next podcast. So we may want to get you.
Unfortunately, I don't feel like though I'm qualified to comment that much or to provide any kind of real commentary on Overwatch, because of the fact that even though I have the game, I haven't been really as invested in it to really give that much of a decent opinion on it. So,
I mean, but you've still played it though.
I mean, I've played it, but it's like I haven't been invested into it as much as Halo or even possibly Call of Duty Zombies to really kind of give opinions on all the little nitty-gritty details and like what could be considered fair or not fair, and what should or should not be implemented or implemented differently. So
I mean, I can't really argue that, but I feel like as long as you've played the game, you're pretty much qualified to comment on it. And also, like this one, I mean,
you can
yeah.
still discuss how you feel about the playstyle of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the overall playstyle of the game has not at all changed. I mean, pretty much been standard. Just
Yeah, all I know is that for the next fucking podcast, I feel like I'm gonna try to be quiet more because I feel like I've been talking like 90% of this thing.
No,
Yeah. No, that's
it's
a
good
thing.
because
Yeah.
you've got stronger views on a lot of this than I would, because I was late to getting the game, very late to getting Halo 5.
I mean-
and I never
yeah,
did,
I
and I
mean-
still don't play it quite as much and as often
Yeah.
as you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, when YukoN joined back in the party, I was going on full rant, and it's because of the fact that, I mean, I think this is probably definitely a huge part of me talking a whole lot more compared to both you guys or something like that. But wait, what?
Nothing. She's not talking to you. She's talking to me. All right, continue.
Okay. But it's just where I come from. I mean, I've been in the Halo community for
What do you mean softer?
a good. I've been in the Halo community for a good long while. I remember actually seeing Halo first, like my cousin play it. I think when I was like 5 or something, I started playing Halo 2 with my friend back in like, I think 4th, maybe 5th grade. I then played Halo 3 at his house before getting my Xbox in 2009, playing Halo 3. So I mean, I've been pretty much playing this game since my childhood. So I think that's
yeah.
kind of part of the reason why, like, I just have
As
a
have I.
lot to basically
So,
say
like,
about
I
it.
started playing Halo on the Xbox. It was just Halo.
Yeah, and like, if we were to talk about something like Call of Duty Zombies, I could go on like just endless rants about it. Maybe not as much in detail or as long about as I could with Halo, but the amount of time I spent on COD Zombies, like I've literally spent entire days, like from 8 a.m. till 12 o'clock at night grinding for a high round in a single game. So I I think really just the amount that I could basically give just depends on the amount I've played a game. Hence why I said before that I don't know if I would be able to give that much of a good opinion with Overwatch, considering the fact that I've really rarely played it. Like I don't even think I've played it for like a full 48 to 72 hours. So
But yeah, still, I feel like you still qualified as long as you've played the game. Like you've played
Yeah.
the basic gameplay.
it's like,
It's not like
but that's the
it's
thing though. It's
terribly
like I
complicated,
play
but-
casual. I play
Yeah.
Overwatch casual. I don't.
Shy, get off of
But it's
me!
like you just, but it's like you just said before though, like in the way beginning of this thing, that I play Halo as very competitive, and it's like and the thing is, since I do it like play it in a very competitive way, or since I have a very competitive style when it comes to Halo, like I'm more passionate when it comes to all the small tiny details of it.
I know,
But
but
with
see, like,
Overwatch,
Cheyenne
not so
can make
much.
up for that, because me and Cheyenne have both put significant amounts of time into competitive Overwatch. So, like, how Shy is being a bit more quiet in this one, she can then speak up more in
And
the
that's
others.
another thing. It's like I used to be more competitive with it, but I just Halo's something for me to it's entertainment at this point. I don't play competitively.
But
I
see,
mean,
for
the only
me,
thing I really do
Halo's
with
been really competitive. Because I have some weird thing in me that makes me always want to win, and I have issues, and I probably need to seek professional help. But that is besides the point, and probably for a different
Oh
time
man,
and
like
podcast.
you're playing Shadow with me, Jesus Christ, I don't even start
Mhm.
that. But like the only thing I really do now with Halo, nowadays though, is that I don't really play multiplayer as much as I used to. Maybe that'll change with Halo 6. I mean, Halo Wars 2, I'm definitely gonna be playing a whole bunch of multiplayer with that. But the only thing I really do nowadays is I just speedrun Halo games, because of the fact that that's the only way I now find that I really have fun with it, unless I'm like doing multiplayer games with like YukoN and like
With
a
friends.
few of his pals. Yeah, and like a few of his friends, and it's like that's whether it be on like Halo 5 or even MCC. And MCC, I used to love to play like even in solo, but
The Devil's Kings.
wait, what?
The Devil's Kings of fucking Halo CE.
Oh yeah, really? God, Jesus. But like like just speedrunning in general. It's just been something that kept me on Halo, and it's like I don't think I'm ever gonna like fully ever quit Halo. Because as I said before, it's been something I literally grew up with as a child, just like Pokemon. But that's a different topic. But I don't really see myself ever quitting Halo. And if I do, I would probably have to give up just games in general, like as well after that, because it's like Halo is just, I grew up with it. I think it definitely kind of
it's like a normal thing. So like,
yeah, it's like I think it definitely defines.
As you grew up.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it shaped me who I am, but like I think it really just kind of defined me as a type of gamer. Like I think it defined what type of gamer.
Yeah.
I really am. So.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
The original trilogy was a masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was.
A lot of parallels between Halo and Star Wars here too.
Alright, okay. If you by parallels you mean rip-offs, possibly. Then. But
I can't be a part of that.
I'm not gonna lie. When I say right now, I'm kind of looking forward to next podcast when you guys just completely go on a heyday with Overwatch, and then like people will just take a break from.
I have some words to say with Overwatch. My lovely like bond I had with Overwatch has
I got some
disintegrated.
words too.
Yeah, I'm angry with Overwatch right now. Next podcast is going to be very, very fucking heated, just because I am very angry about some things. Mainly because I'm
you gotta remember,
my
that's my main
game
nerfed. Right now.
I mean, if people
that's my main game right now.
Yeah, and if just by chance people actually do like how like just kind of in depth I'm trying to go with just Halo in general. If anything, maybe we could go like on a kind of a campaign kind of talk, because I feel like there's definitely a lot we could definitely say about the campaign itself.
Oh like, yeah, I actually second that. Let's move on to the campaign.
And it's like, yeah,
so
and it's like I think part of the reason, and it's like part of the reason I also think that would be a good topic to go on about is because of the fact that I'm also a writer myself, so I think I could actually give a viewpoint from like a writing kind of point of view. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go off here on a tangent.
I didn't finish the campaign, and you can blame Jake for that.
I'll help you out one day. Jake is Atlas.
Who the fuck is Atlas again?
Jake is my partner.
The fellow PCG, you've played with him several times.
The fact that I don't remember him means he must not have been important enough for me to remember.
That's just mean. Why would you say that? Why are you gonna
He is very important.
Yeah, time out. You know he's right. Like, he's PX02. He's the second. Like, he's the co-leader of Phoenix Clan.
And I'm 3.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's on my friends list, so her, like, I've seen her enough times.
Do you have a guy named that guy Atlas?
Tobias wants an invite.
I don't think so.
I already told Tobias that we're having a podcast, so we can't do that.
Are you guys still playing Halo as you're like talking or no?
Yes, we've been doing that this whole time.
I actually had to quit out of my game just so I could focus on
Well, see, it's not me and Shy aren't like we're not doing the best right now that we can.
Well, again, we're playing Action Sack.
Yeah.
We just got done with the Warthog race. So.
We're just doing something that's fun.
I'm the kind of person where it's like if they're gonna do something like that, like any kind of project, like, and I consider this to be like a sort of project. Like, I can't do anything but that itself because of the fact that it's like I need to be fully invested in order to do my best. Not that I feel like I could even do my best with the podcast, but it's like just so I could kind of put in my full energy and just kind of get across like what I want to do, you know what I mean? Or like what I want to say. So.
Well, see, the thing is, I kind of have to do this because we need something in the background. So I have to do something unless I put the audio as an overlay to a video, but it's just easier for me to just stream it now and have the gameplay in the background as we're talking.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, that way also when I like accidentally slip up and do like say something out of terms, then the people can see what I was referencing. Yeah. But also, I mean, it would be boring to just sit there and watch a thumbnail the entire time. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's not like we're on a Skype call here and I can record the entire call of everyone's face. I mean, we're on fucking Xbox Live doing this at a party.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that people don't ask for talks about Battlefield 1, because I don't know about you, but
I would be overly generous
really
to Battlefield 1, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, yeah, Battlefield 1 is a good game. Unfortunately, though, I just play casually and just shoot
as does everyone. I mean, Battlefield's not really an esport by any means.
Well, I never said it had to be an esport, so.
I know, but like you can't really take.
But I mean, like I'm pretty sure like you could compare Battlefield 1 to like other, like to the previous Battlefield games, if not like other kind of World of War style games. So.
Most realistic games like that don't really have a place in the competitive gaming world. I mean, I love history games.
Well,
don't get me
again,
wrong.
that's why that's kind of like why I said like I'm not sure if like I would even compare it to the competitive gaming, just like other games that are similar to it, if not like its predecessors.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But wait, back to campaign as our topic here.
Campaign for what?
For Halo, because we've digressed. So let's get back on topic. But I think I'll start this off with saying, Halo 5's campaign was bullshit. The entire marketing campaign of the game was Hunt the Truth, and I actually tried to defend them at first, the first like few days of the campaign, because I didn't complete it all on one day. And Knight had already played a decent amount of it by that time, so really. Me and Knight had a lot of arguments about, and Gray had a lot of arguments about this when the game first came out. But then I ended up siding. This game was marketed as Hunt the Truth, alright? So, I forgive them. Right? I forgive, no, that's why I'm referring to. It is Hunt the Bullshit, as he just said. There was no fucking hunting, he knew where Chief was at every time. It's not like the clues you were looking for had nothing to do. They're called intel, and it was the same thing as if you found intel in fucking Modern Warfare. I mean, it does nothing. It's just intel. It's for the sake of collecting it. I mean, sure, it gives you like, a tiny bit of audio. You can after I finish my call.
Alright. I just want to give you a warning.
Another thing I hate. You don't introduce Blue Team, Halo Cannon, all of the external stuff. People love Blue Team, right? Oh, I just fucked up that shotgun duel real bad. But, people loved Blue Team. Loved them. And the fact that we finally got to see them in an actual Halo game was amazing. So people were flipping out. They're just like, yeah, we get to play Blue Team. Let's not get mistaken. I get that you're trying to add in a new fucking character. The only reason people play this game's campaign is to play as Master Chief, alright?
1 minute.
So, when you have Master Chief in all of his badass glory, right? And you decide, you know what? Fuck Master Chief, let's replace him with a random dude, right? You can't do that.
You just went from Blue Team to like another like blue stuff character.
No. Locke's a big part of this because Locke's team,
I know.
ended up replacing Blue Team in most of the missions.
Personally speaking, there's a lot of like I could have already said like about like Blue Team like before going to the other characters like.
No, my problem is the fact what I'm getting to right here is that the game should have majority included Blue Team missions, alright, if it was going to have a majority. Personally, what I would have liked to see is equal parts Osiris, equal parts Blue Team. That didn't happen. It was mainly Osiris, which is unacceptable. That's not what people want to see. I mean, you come up with this beautiful storyline of Chief finally showing his human side after being the lethal, fucking world-saving killer he's been for all these years. And now, it comes off with this beautiful storyline that you originally did in Halo 4, where Chief finally shows he is human, by all means. When he lost Cortana, he was fucking devastated. He's sitting there on the fucking bridge with Lasky and he doesn't know what to do with himself. Because he lost the fucking person who was literally in his head. Literally in his head. That has to be traumatizing. Imagine having two voices in your head, and one of them shuts the fuck up randomly.
I feel like I really want to kind of play off like what you're kind of saying right now, but at the same time it's like I feel like I'd rather just kind of have a like full go because of the fact that I feel like there's a lot you're missing, which could definitely be said. So
yeah, go ahead. You can take it over now because you're definitely You're more of a campaign guy, as where I'm more of a competitive multiplayer
Well, it's
guy.
not even campaign. As I said before, like I've just been playing this game for so many years, and it's like it's something which I more than often than not like kind of research like every single day. But I mean, like going back to like what you said before, like to start off, like with the whole the whole advertisements for the game and whatnot. I'll be perfectly honest. I found the advertisement to be completely false.
Oh, it was.
The
It
whole
was by all
hunter.
means.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
With
was
the
to
whole
a point.
hunter
It was to a point.
Yeah.
Technically,
But
in the very, very basic terms of the word
Yeah.
hunt, he was you know, he wasn't a hunting chief, but he was
Yeah, but
tracking
it's like-
sheep.
The way they did that though, it was extremely scummy. And I mean, one of the YouTubers I follow, Angry Joe Show for
Oh, I do
those
love
who
Angry
don't
Joe.
know. Yeah, Angry Joe, he put it in a way that explained it perfectly, which is where I actually got the hunt the bullshit thing from earlier. He
Joe's
said
a
that
funny dude.
they marketed toward this like huge thing where you have Spartan Lock on this like massive manhunt for Master Chief, and that it sounded like they're gonna have
Really
this like
badass.
huge climactic standoff, and it's like, yeah, you know what, they did have a fight, but it was a joke of a fight. It was more like a little bit of a spar. But going back to the campaign. Going back to the like advertisement real quick though. They made this entire thing out to be that, you know what, Master Chief has gone completely rogue. He's not listening to orders. It's like all of a sudden he's just doing like he's going against like the UNSC, like where all of a sudden like the UNSC are bad guys, or maybe he's the bad guys, which was like the whole point of like Hunter Truth, because it's like, okay, well, what's going on? Is Chief actually a bad guy? Is he actually a good guy? Like, is it vice versa for the UNSC? Like, what's going on? And it's like they made like, and I'll give them that. Like, it was good advertisement to get people hyped for the game, but the game itself, like, it reflected nothing of the tone. Like, Master Chief, like, in the campaign, like, he was considered rogue all because of the fact that it's like, they told him not to go to a planet to find out about Cortana, and it was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it anyway, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's gone rogue, he just disobeyed an order, like, we gotta hunt him down, and it's like, really? Like, you guys hyped all this, like this entire tone, like this, you purposely hyped up this specific tone for a game, and yet the game reflects nothing like that, like not even close in scale. Now,
I would agree at that point, 100%. I mean, I feel like, well, it was a great advertising strategy, because, I mean, it built tons of hype. I mean, after seeing those trailers, I'm just like, oh shit, this is gonna be so badass! Like,
extremely dark tone where you really did not know if Chief at this point was a bad guy, or if he was actually a good guy going against the UNSC, who may have actually been bad guys all along besides the Covenant. Like, it could have been like a corrupt government or something like that. And it's like you didn't know, which created a lot of hype, and I unfortunately also fell for that hype.
Shai, what do you think about the hype?
I told you, I was really late to everything with the game in general.
But, like, I mean, you
Because
saw the
I
trailers,
was so
right?
late with getting Xbox One.
And like the thing, like in going with the campaign, I'll get to like the characters in a second, like my opinions on them. But as for the campaign itself, it was I honestly found it to be a joke. The one thing I will give it, you know what, the beginning level Osiris, the beginning level for Blue Team, like the 2 levels right in the beginning, it was like, I think, what, level 1 and 2. It was a very, very powerful, and this is my personal opinion, but I found it to be a very powerful intro to the game. But
oh yeah, the
after
intro,
those 2
the game's opener was beautiful. It was
no, it was
beautiful
good. It was
cutscene.
phenomenal. It
looked
was
bad
like
fucking ass. The problem is you can't do half the shit that they're doing, and then that's really fucking
well,
depressing.
It has nothing,
you can't tease that and then not do that.
But it's like here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that they sometimes show that they will show in the cutscene, you can never actually do in the game. Like doing all these like crazy flips or like combat things, you can never actually do that in the game. So I'm not actually disappointed with that, but just like the level of
Hype.
I guess immersion or something, or like just the level of storytelling, it dropped off immediately after the first 2 levels.
That is
Like
true.
I could remember several different moments in previous Halo games, but nothing for Halo 5 really. Like the most powerful moments which I can imagine, which I can
Halo
remember
4.
from Halo 5 just
Halo
right off.
4 had a great example of that. When you're fucking Chief at the very last mission, and you think that Chief's going to die, you have no idea. 343 is a 343 is a brand new company. They're taking over Halo. I mean, they're even starting to see what might be the beginning of Chief's end, which is fucking Locke. I mean, them adding in a new character scares me shitless because they're trying to hype Locke as the guy to replace Chief. So, basically, Halo 4 had a beautiful moment at the end where Chief pretty much accepted he was going to die. Chief had a nuclear bomb in his hand, and to stop the destruction of Earth, everyone on Earth's about to fucking die. They're all getting imposed. That's a terrible way. That's like getting burned to death. It's fucked up. It's like literally getting like ovened to death. It's a terrible fucking way to go. And then you're enslaved for the rest of your life as Promethean fucking knight. But yeah. We see Chief accepting his death and his humanity, that he's not this invincible, lucky being at all times.
Well, like,
Chief pretty much accepts he's gonna die.
It's more
sits there,
like,
looks out
it
at
wasn't
the
even
world
so much as Chief accepting his death. It was more like, you know what, like, he realized what he had to do. He didn't care if he lived or died, and it's like all Chief ever knew was the mission. But the part that sealed the deal, the part that literally ripped out my heart. It literally made me say holy shit, or like even like what the fuck, was when we see Chief like all of a sudden floating in this like what I can only describe as like
I thought it was purgatory at first. I thought it was like heaven or purgatory.
No, I didn't. Like to me it looked like a glass box, but like either way, it's
like a hard light box.
You see Cortana like in a kind of like a human form, and Chief's just like, how is this even possible? And then when she says like I can't come with you this time, like you just see, like without even having to say anything right off the bat, just through the way he shifts or just even gestures with his body, you can just tell he's in such disbelief that she's not going to be coming with him.
Denying
you
it.
hear it in his voice. He has a tremble in his voice, and the way he moves, the way he turns his head. You can tell he's just heartbroken. It's a moment that, and I will give 343 credit for this. They created a moment which not only pissed off a lot of people, but it tore at the heartstrings because it's like, oh my god, these characters, they're inseparable.
They've been together.
Like, how can you
they've been together. I mean, the one's literally implanted inside the other's head.
And
they're one and the same.
Yeah, and the thing that pissed me specifically off was that they had Chief become this emotional wreck. Like, and you see, like, when he's talking with Lasky. What?
It makes sense for him to be an emotional wreck. Imagine that.
I know.
Having half of your mind torn out of your body.
Yeah, and it's like, you see with when he's with Lasky how he's basically kind of isolating himself more than usual, because it's like, he's trying to figure out how to cope. He's trying to convince himself that he's a machine that he doesn't feel. And it's like, you really just get that sense from him. And then when it comes to Halo 5, it's like, all of a sudden, all that pain and agony is gone as soon as he finds out Cortana is alive. And it's like, oh, Cortana's alive. Oh, I better go find her. It's not like they remove all of that emotion.
They did try to do that, though, admittedly. I mean, you saw, actually, they did do it really well at first. In Chief's first mission, when he finds, like, he first finds the first remnants of Cortana being alive, and he's just like, we have to go find her right now. Like, he's having flashbacks. No, you clearly see he's troubled by it.
No, it's not, but it's like, there's a difference between being concerned, as in like, okay, something's not right here, and being concerned, as in like, holy shit, Cortana's fucking alive. I thought she was out, like, we need to find her. Like,
well, because he actually did do that. Voice, you go back and watch that
I know, but it's like,
mission.
The tone of his voice, though, it was so much different. It was so much different.
Well, that's also because But we're talking like Chief has already pretty much I feel like he's gone through most of the stages of like grief by now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but like
I
like the fact that in Blue Team, the first level, like they showed him holding the helmet, which showed that, you know, he was grieving. But then afterwards, it's like I feel like they let the moment, like they could have built on it, which they didn't, until like you got all the way to the second to last level, where it's like you see then Cortana betray him, and this is going back to one of those like what I was talking before about.
No,
what?
She has not completed the campaign.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, because Jake was supposed to play it with her.
I swear.
And then Jake played it with his friend
Me and Greg
Nico.
did some of it though.
But
no, so
yeah,
much for that. So much for that little speech.
I'm sorry.
I will say though, it's very.
All right. Well, it's
another big problem with the campaign, away from the story.
Yeah.
Is the missions, gameplay-wise.
Can I really quick touch
you can
upon the
finish your
characters
point.
though? Yeah. Because that was actually, I was meaning to touch upon them, and since I can't really go that much further into the campaign, I might as well just talk about the characters. But as far as the characters, you know what? I don't have that much of a problem. Like I could tell that they were basically all different, but the thing that kind of killed their individuality though was that I feel like they were basically just all complete replicas of one another, which kind of like, you know how they say that each person in a group has a role to play?
Yeah.
I feel like they all had the same kind of role, which kind of made them just like blend into each other. Like, I feel like, if anything, Chief did stand out more, but that's because of the fact that we had already known Chief, so it's like we already related more to him than the other characters. They were just there for like fillers and whatnot. Even with Team Osiris, like, I mean, granted, I don't think they had any real time to get kind of acquainted with the player in terms of like their background or whatever. But again, it's like they really just kind of all blended into each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of just like role, like, but well then, okay, that's not entirely true. Buck, I mean, he's definitely
everyone loves Buck. Everyone loves Buck.
Yeah,
it's like
he's the comedic one, and it's like it's that unique kind of trait which sets him apart from basically everybody else.
Yeah, that's why everyone loves Buck. I mean, there's not a single person in there who's gonna say like, "Fuck you, Nathan Fillion. Your character sucks."
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like
people
everyone
fucking love Buck. Buck's just a funny dude. Like, also even in ODST, I love Buck. Buck's one of the reasons why I love ODST's campaign. People can say whatever the fuck they want about ODST. I fucking love ODST. ODST had a great campaign.
ODST, you know what? I liked it in terms of like a spin-off.
Also, Rookie is the best silent protagonist.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game.
Just because he's truly silent.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen, like, ODST was like funny because of the fact that it's like Halo ODST was the first game where the primary protagonist, the Rookie, he literally did not say really a single word at all. I don't even think during that entire.
He didn't.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and it's like I give him credit because it's like he was the silent badass.
No.
Like.
Though he went out like a bitch, and I'm still very angry at you 343. You're fucking douchebags for that.
By the way, YukoN, just a reminder for future podcasts, just so we don't get like jumbled up and like misorganized. You might, if anything, you might kind of want to write down, like besides the game that you want to do, right? Like different talking points. That way, it's like more just clear and organized. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is the first one though, so like, I feel like
which is kind of actually why I'm kind of like.
Yeah.
Curious to see how many people actually kind of hate me by the end of this, considering the amount of talking. So.
Well, I mean, Shy is going to do a lot of the talking next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of which will like give people a break with me. So.
Yeah.
Unless they actually like
I just never got
into
Halo 5 as I did.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the major. Actually, fuck it here. Let's just move on. the gameplay of the campaign. And this will probably be one of our final topics. I mean, I'd say I'll quickly touch upon the custom game community. It sucked dick at first. Now they've made significant improvements. But as Knight said earlier, for a lot of players, that's too late. You've already lost the vast majority of your player base. So I'll just quickly get that out of the way. I feel like we can all agree upon that, right? Real quick before we continue with the campaign.
Yeah, because here's the thing with here's the thing with player base. Each game, like, you only have one release date. Like, you only have one release date for it. You don't have multiple. So unless you nail that first release and like show people that your game has good longevity, they're not going to be around in a few months to continue playing it. Their chances are going to move to something else.
Yeah. So I mean, now Halo 5 343. I want you to implement everything you've now implemented into Halo 5 into Halo 6. Right now, it's a great game.
Not counting on it. Not counting on it.
But this has to be all
I
in there
agree.
at launch. Otherwise, you will fuck up tremendously as you did with Halo 5.
Yeah. A lot of people said that Halo 5 was basically the nail in the coffin. Honestly, I think, you know what?
Now, Halo 6 is very
4.
promising. After this Halo 5 that I have now, with all the improvements they've made, I have a lot of hope.
Yeah,
for
but
343.
they need to have it at launch though.
If they fuck up Halo 6 though, they'll have an issue. But back to the campaign.
No, if they fuck up Halo 6, then
yeah,
then
that
I'll
was pretty
be
much it.
nuts.
That's two
after Halo
games
6,
that
if they fuck up Halo, no, yeah, a lot of people thought that Halo 5 was the only coffin. I think if anything, I think Halo 5 has really crippled.
It's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. I think it's
Well,
actually
not
showing a
even
lot of
stepping stone,
improvement.
but I feel like it generally it actually has crippled kind of like the franchise right now, and I feel like, a
it's
lot of
helped.
people.
Halo 4 definitely crippled it.
Halo 4, MCC.
Oh my God.
Halo 4 damage date. MCC
Destroyed it with launch.
destroyed it. Halo 5. I mean, in the beginning, yes, they may have given people a lot of money, but I still don't think that it showed people that 343 was completely capable of handling the franchise.
I feel like it definitely has.
I'm fully convinced that. No, I'm fully convinced that unless they do a really good job with Halo 6, I think that it's gonna be the nail in the coffin.
Oh, Halo 6 definitely will be, just because people... Now, it's two games that haven't been perfect. One of them having been terrible, and then even one of the games that has just... wasn't even that bad, but it was just at launch. Shit, now, goddammit, now I have to mute Greg. Before Greg gets in here. Damn it. Right. But, yeah, so basically, just touch upon it. I mean...
But it's like... The thing is, though, like...
No, shit. Actually, wait, no. Because, this podcast has to end soon. I mean, we're getting pretty long.
Yeah,
hours
that's what I was
right
gonna say.
So,
Like, that's why
here,
before I was saying, like,
we'll finish the campaign
like,
real
save that
quick.
for another broadcast.
No, let's get it done with this. So yeah, I've already said most of my feelings about the multiplayer. I love the game. I feel like 343 has done a great job now, especially patching it up in the aftermath. Launch was really bad. Fuck that up. But let's finish off the campaign. Gameplay. Gameplay-wise, the campaign was actually very ambitious. They tried to do a lot of new things. What I don't like, I want them to revert back to the original Halo system for spawning. The whole having the fire team thing is cool, and I like the ability to order them around, but if you're gonna do that, I feel like you have to perfect it a bit more before you put it into the games, you know what I'm saying? Because it was good, it was cool, but it sucked. Also, I don't like the ability to have your fucking retarded AI teammates pick you up. Mainly because they suck dick at picking you up.
Gears of War ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really rip off a game that they own. I mean, it's not really a rip-off because they owned Gears of War as well. So.
No, but you can't steal concept, and it's very obvious too.
But it's not stealing at that point. It's just borrowing.
Hostiles hit.
Activision with the whole wall running.
You could argue that they borrowed the double jumping from Destiny, which they own.
One could argue that they borrowed the double jump.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
probably
fuck.
more games where you could double jump.
Sorry about that, folks. We lagged for a bit there. Right, continue, Knight.
No, what I was saying is that, like, and they could have, like, borrowed it from, like, Smash Brothers, but then again, at the same time, like, I'm pretty sure that there have been other games besides Smash Brothers that have double jump. It's just, that's the only one I can think of, automatically at the moment, like, right off the top of my head.
Really? Not like Titanfall? I feel like Titanfall would have been a great example.
I'm talking about games early on, like, for, the Xbox One era, in terms of, like, because one could argue that they stole the other game. So. Yeah, is it just me or does my voice sound like it's sore or something?
No, it sounds fine. But
yeah, I'm not...
another thing I actually do
not...
love about Halo's campaign and Halo 5 campaign is they give you multiple options to play it, which is cool. That's something I actually like, and that's a good implementation into the game. Is in every Halo 5 level, there's several different ways to take your approach, as opposed to the glitch way and the normal way. Like, you could go up to the vents. See?
Oh.
That's why I'm surprised that you don't know. But, almost in every situation, there's different ways. Like, you can fucking totally skip through entire parts of the game, and it's intended to be that way. Like, you don't have to fight...
From what I've heard...
From the blue team mission, you don't have to fight those hunters. You can escape them and then fight them later on in the lab.
From what I've heard, 343, and this is from a Twitch streamer that I follow, Pro Ace Joker. From what I've heard from him, apparently 343 actually designed the game with speedrunning in mind. So that could be part of the implementation of it.
It is. But it's also just, they give you pretty much like 3 choices per way. Like, you can take the stealth mode, which is like, you can go up through vents and shit. You could take the direct approach, which is what most Halo players do, because we're used to, you know, being a gung-ho space fucking soldier who is augmented and wears badass armor. And is pretty much every kid's wet dream. But, yeah, I mean... I like that. I feel like that's a great addition to the game. Like, they hadn't done that before. There's always just the glitch way to do it, where, like, you go and you can despawn all the enemies and whatnot, like what you do for speedrunning. And then there's the way, which is, you know, the normal way. You just run through and you shoot everything up. And plain and simple. But I like the ability to do multiple options. I like the fact that they give you options like that. It's nice. I also, as much as I shit on it... As much as I shit on it earlier, I do like the ability to order around your AI teammates, and I love the fact that now you have 3 AI teammates backing you up at all times.
You mean you're carrying 3 AI teammates? There's a difference.
I did check my phone. But... Oh, I never responded to you, did I?
Going back to a question I asked, like, within the first 2 minutes of this podcast, how long are these things supposed to last again?
Yeah, that's what I was asking him, except
yeah.
I just texted him instead.
So, we're gonna end it pretty much now.
Okay.
Anyone have any final words? Shy? What are your final words?
I apologize for anyone who found that I talked way too much.
No, I mean your final thoughts on the game, not the podcast.
Don't apologize for talking too much. It's good to be strongly opinionated about things.
It is. That's why you're on the podcast.
Like, while I understand that, I also felt like not only was I repeating myself a lot, but
reiteration gets the point you want across easier.
Yeah, like I feel like if anything, and this is something I definitely think I need to try, since practice since I'm not the best with improv. I do think I need to work on just kind of organizing my thoughts in my head better and like more quickly. That way it's like it's not just a complete jumbled mess. So
but the jumbled messes are what's good.
But again,
don't want to read
I'm not asking for your final thoughts on the podcast. I'm asking for the final Final thoughts on the game. The game.
Final thoughts
Halo
on
5
the
is
game.
trash. Halo 5 is trash.
Alright,
You cannot
next
convince
night,
me otherwise.
Shy, you.
It was rushed. Rushed.
I'd say
That's
personally
part of why
it
it's
was
trash.
rushed.
That's
It was
part of why
rushed,
it's trash.
but as of right now, this game is a beautiful game, and I feel like it's a 10 out of 10 right now. It really is, just because of the amount of time that now they've poured into it. But again, this should have already been in there at the time. So
Yeah,
I'll give you that one.
Say, like,
as of now, though, for
honestly,
me,
as
Halo
good as
5 is a
it
10
may
out
be
of 10,
now, it's
except for Warzone, because I hate Warzone, and I won't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch on it because of how much I hate
One thing
it.
I want to point out though is that while it may be a 10 out of 10 from where you stand now, it has to be that way from the beginning, like, because games
I don't
aren't
agree
judged
100%
later
on
in
that.
their lifetime, so.
I mean, yes, they are.
Games
Halo
are
Reach.
never judged
Halo
on-
Reach was not that good on release, I will argue.
I actually liked it.
By the end of Halo Reach, though, by the end of Halo Reach was perfect. Everyone loved it.
I actually liked it. I thought
So
it had
I'll
a
use
lot
that.
of-
I know. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay,
community-wise, though. Community-wise, when it
Okay.
first released, people hated it. People fucking hated it, and you can't really ignore that. They came back to it because they made improvements, and the game got a lot better. So that's what I'm going to use to fight against your point of it has to be at release. I will agree, though, a lot of the shit they did fuck up, and it does hurt you a lot. It hurt Reach a lot. Reach lost a lot of potential players to Black Ops, because Black Ops pulled off a better game than Reach was at launch.
No, Black Ops pulled off zombies. That's why people moved to it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know. Then there was a gameplay aspect too. A lot of people were in the lines, and COD and Halo have always been the forefront of FPS games.
Now it's Battlefield.
Battlefield's in there, but it's not huge compared to like COD and Halo, even though it has a bigger player base at times.
Titanfall 2,
When you think of FPS games, you think of the two that define FPS games. You think of Halo and you think of COD.
Call of Duty. No.
Cancer of Duty.
I
Yes,
won't
Brandon.
shit. I
Pizza's
love to
here.
shit on them,
Oh.
but I'm not gonna shit on them just because we have a PCG section of COD. That's Alvin and the guys. You guys should all go check
I
them
don't
out.
hate the game.
They're great.
I don't hate the game. It's just not my cup
Yeah,
of tea.
it's not like I actually play MWR a significant amount. Like I play it with
I
friends
used to
from
play.
school.
I used to play Modern
I just
Warfare
have to
3.
insult because it's Activision and they've
I hate Activision,
They've done a
but
lot.
you gotta give them credit where it's due. You do have to give them credit where it's due.
they don't have much place where I can give them credit though.
That's a lie. They have the entire history of Call of Duty under the belt. You can't say that.
Oh
You
my God, I
genuinely
smell
going to
pizza.
tell
Okay.
me that Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and Modern
Final
Warfare 3?
thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts over. I love Halo 5.
Final thoughts?
I mean,
I love Halo 5
I'm
now. I
talking
didn't
though.
like it
I'm
at the beginning as much.
Okay. Let me clarify that then. I'm talking about in terms of when it came to the next gen console. Like after the next gen console came out, that's when Activision started becoming canceled.
But yeah, we're not talking about Activision. We're gonna end this. So thank you everyone for watching. If you're gonna order a Sins controller, please use code Phoenix Clan Gaming. Capital P, capital
If you
C,
stayed around
and
for the
capital
entire
G.
thing, I give you a lot of credit.
Yeah, that too. Thank you. This is something that we hope you guys love. We put it together, and
Don't
just
kill
the
us.
three of us. Yeah. So please, I mean, be harsh with your criticism. I do always love criticism, and I want it to be improved, like as much as possible. But don't like. I'm usually all for cancerous statements. Don't be cancerous. Just please be constructive with your criticism.
Yeah, if the best way for anyone
Don't be
who,
like, oh, she's a fucking cunt, or oh, he's a fucking prick, or
like,
Knight's a
if
fucking
you guys want to
loser.
see if you guys want to see specific improvements to the podcast,
Just put them in the comments.
If anything, what I would recommend is just saying, just saying if you think we need our thoughts more organized, just constructive criticism. Like, constructive criticism can definitely be harsh, but like we need very specifics. So
Yeah, don't just be like, you suck. That doesn't help us. Tell us why we suck.
Okay. Yes.
That
Yes,
helps
we
us.
understand. Be specific.
maybe they suck.
I'm specific about this pizza I smell.
Alright, so thank you all for listening. Use code Clan Gaming, and also please check out our parent company, Revolver GN, at revolvergamingnetwork.com. Great company. My bro Sovereign there is great. I'm the platform director of esports there. Really cool. So check that out as well. Check out Graywolf. Check out me. We'll link each other in the description of the videos because it's going up on both channels, and we'll also link.
For anyone
to
who
the
thinks I
main
talk too much
channel.
right now, I have no talking on that channel for the most part.
Yeah.
So
This makes up for his speedruns without commentary. And Shy will maybe eventually make a YouTube channel or not, or she'll just do whatever the fuck she wants. NommmNommm. She'll just do that. Alright, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That's about it. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Love you guys so much, and that's gonna be the broadcast. So, have a lovely day or night, you classy broads. Adios.